Hello, it's Michelle from Michelle's Ink It Stamp It.blogspot.com. I'm an independent consultant for Close to My Heart, and my website is michellepryor.ctmh.com. Here's the swing card video that I promised. The swing cards are on the Artiste cartridge on page 52, and I use the accent button and the S key, so that would be accent 1 and S. There's 9 different ones on the that you can cut out on the cartridge, and they all have coordinating cuts that fit in it too. So the Trick or Treat stamp here is B1412, and it's the Perfect Fit Halloween is the name of that one. So I stamped the little outer circle and then stamped the Trick or Treat and then popped it up with 3D foam tape. The shape is cut out with the Cricut using the Art Philosophy cartridge 62, and it's right here, so you would just use that key. You don't have to do anything on the outer part of it, just hit that key. And the size that matches this is on this Perfect Fit frames, and that's this is D1527. So this is the frame that I would be stamping on here, and then you can see you get some other really cute ones, and I've used this stamp set a lot. So on the stamp set itself, it'll tell you Art Philosophy. It'll tell you what size you need to cut it out, and it'll tell you what page it's on. So it says page 62, and that's the one I showed you. I did use the layering feature in my Gypsy, and you can see I put this on 3 different layers. So for this part, for the demonstration, I have just this part here. It takes 16 of these because you need 2 for each card, because you'll put 1 on the front and you'll need 1 on the back. So what I do is layer these all the way across in the page, and then I'll cut it. I also use the circle one on here too, so I put 16 of those on there, and then I put 8 circles because that's what I was going to need to make the card. So I don't have it on this part because this part I was just showing you with. So there's layer 1, layer 2 has the 2 swing cards on it, and layer 3 has the setup for how I did the 4. So basically it's like this. If I put the 4 shapes here, 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 and here on my paper, that way I had enough room to cut it out, trim it off, cut it in half, and it gave me enough for 8 cards. If you leave me a comment and you want more detailed step-by-step directions on how to do this, I'll make a video on just that. The easiest way to stamp these, all of this, the circle included, is to sponge around it first. So you would sponge, and that gives you a clear definition of where the circle is, so when you have it on your paper. Also, when you're cutting out the circle, sometimes you'll notice you don't get a perfect circle, but you'll get a closer circle if you put the real dial button on. It changes the shape of it just a little bit and makes it more like a circle. That's an extra little tip for you there. So sponge around the outside, and then when you go to stamp on it, you'll be able to see perfectly. Here, let me pull this one off and I can show you. This block doesn't quite fit for this, but it'll work for what I'm going to do it on. So when you're stamping it on something, you can see that when you have it on there, it's done. But if you have something darker underneath, or you've sponged this, then you get more direction as to where to stamp it, so you make it perfectly in the center. I sponged these in black. The color I used on the stamp, on this stamp set, is Sunset. and then use black for the trick or treat. This one I did in green around the edge, this one I did in the sunset around the edge. So when you cut out the card, it looks like this when you take it off your mat. So you'll see actual little tick marks on there. Makes it easy to fold. So my trick is to fold it in half, and then I will line up the edges. This one isn't lined up real well, so you line up the edges and then use your bone folder. And then fold this part back in half, and again you'll line up the edges. Use your bone folder again, crease it down real nice. That's what gives you the swing part. So and you can see now why you need the two pieces, because you'll need one for the front, and then when you flip it over you need the other one for the back side. So I sponged around all that, sponged around all this. Here's that layering piece I was talking about where I cut the 4 out of the one piece of paper, which makes this so that it cuts right around it. This is the back side to the owl paper, and that is on the inside here. The stamp set comes with the Workshop on the Go as well as this bling. So you get a lot for your money on those. It's a great way to start out. Thanks for watching, and stop back again.